Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. You know, I'm always talking to you about a higher standard of living, a higher, more exciting life. I'm sharing with you constantly about an invisible power that has been sufficient for all needs and causes that I refer to as God. And I do that because I'm sort of like hoping that perhaps that this God that I talk to you about is able to maybe cause something for you in your life like it has for me in my life. And what basically it has done is to see life different than the way I was brought up, than the way I was taught. It given me a new perspective of life, of the beauty of life and how it can be and should be. And it makes it so important to me that it's worth me committing myself to doing something new that is not acceptable, that is actually not normal in the daily process of things, and giving me I guess, the courage to withstand whatever the criticisms might be, and excited enough to come to you and offer it to you. You see, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever made any, boy or girl, have you ever made anything? I mean, it's one thing to kind of copy something that somebody else has done. You try to restructure it, and this is your expression of it. But I mean something that's you, totally new. And how much it means to you, how important it is to you, though it might have no importance to anyone else. It's yours. I think about stuff like that. And I think about a car. My brother, I remember when he was between the age of 10 and 13 and 14, he would find old lawnmowers and make go-karts. I mean, we driving around in the community in safe places, go-karts. Today he could put a car together like nothing. I could do none of that stuff. And yet, I can do things he wouldn't even consider doing. That's the way we are structured. I think about in a brain, in the head, a whole bunch of stuff up there in your head. We know there's a brain. I think we all have accepted the fact that the brain is in the head. And we've been told that the brain can do all kinds of things. It's like it's a computer. And we had nothing to do with the making of that brain. And even with our little intellect, we are smart enough to know that the brain and the operation of the brain could not come from a bang. No. And that actually no life could come from a bang. And yet we have in the heads of every form of life something unique that allows them to do something that's uniquely them, and at the same time something that's common amongst all living things. That's just the brain. But think about all the mechanisms that's connected that the brain worked through. All of the, oh my goodness. Think about those body parts put together to do whatever they do, and they themselves, just by themselves, do all kinds of things to serve the other parts of the body, and yet has its own unique makeup that makes it out of sight itself. My friends, that is something that is special. And I think it deserves special recognition as it really gets. But at the same time, for me, I have actually seen miracles occur. We call miracles those things that we say happen that are not humanly possible. I've experienced those things. And when they happen, ladies and gentlemen, I either got to say there was something miraculously, invisibly powerful in me, from me, or that it was in the existence outside of me. In any form, I give it God. And because of that, I trust that which tells me that living a kind of life that allows every individual on earth to enjoy the life that they live would take away all of the thought, the desire, any kind of motivation to deceive and to cause an opposite in its reality. And yet, the reality is that that negative will exist as it does today. The challenge is, will we accept it? Will we resist it? Or will we do those things that we know will destroy it? It's like smoking or doing drugs and alcohol. There are extremes that we will go to that will cause it to have a negative effect on us. And will we still continue to keep on doing it? Even when the doctor says, cut it out, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Will we continue to keep on doing it in spite of all the warnings? Will we continue to keep on doing it? The graveyard are filled with people who kept on doing it, just couldn't stop. And that's the same way, ladies and gentlemen, it is when it comes down to life. So when we look at the troubles that we experience in our lives, it's just an expression of that. It's a continuation of that. But the reality of it is that there are those who stop smoking. There are those that survive. So that tells us that if we are going to walk the basic principle plank that would lead to life, we're going to have to stop walking the plank that's leading to death and walk the plank that leads to life, knowing that anywhere it takes us, it's taking us to life. We got to know that. But in order to know that, you got to be regenerated. Some people call it, you got to be born again. And what does that basically mean? That basically means what I've said up until this point. You got to face reality for what it is. But I don't know, yearn for something better? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't know how to get to. I've tried all kinds of things. But the truth of the matter is this. When it comes down to me, as far as I know, I was just being me, like you were just being you. When the miracles came, I was doing something stupid. And the miracles, and I'm sure you've done some stupid stuff, and you might not call what happened miracles. You might just call it lucky. You might have called it a blessing. Well, no, if you called it lucky, you probably didn't call it a blessing. But either way, you couldn't find yourself saying, many of you, that it was God. I'm sure many of you have said that it's God. My point here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I want to live in a world where there's peace and prosperity and freedom, where there's joy and your dreams are fulfilled. That's what I really want to live. I want my needs and all of the people that live who have same kind of common needs and their own special needs, I want theirs to be met as I want mine to be met. And yet as I look at that, how can I see that being done? I rationalize that all things that exist made outside of man was made by a power invisible, and it does not belong to us, but for us. It does not belong to us, but for us. And that the key to all of this is to bring us all to the same level. We're all human beings, we're all family, and we all require certain things to survive. We all got our special, unique things that we want to have that gives us our special joy. We all got that. And this great power that is able to put all things together has designed this in such a way that each of us, you and I and all of us and all of the things that we've used to divide us could bring us back together, because each of us got a special gift, a unique gift that was given to each and every last one of us on earth. To know it is a God gift, a God sent. Why? Because it is that gift that we came on this earth to exhibit while being here. We didn't just come here to be here. We came here to participate. We came here to play a part in creation, to give of that gift that we have been given, to engage in the process of life. Every last one of us come here to have a career that we will find our greatest joy. It is our purpose for living. Our purpose for living is to engage ourselves in a career that gives us our greatest joy, because it is our part in the hands of creation. In everything that I've just mentioned, peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, your dreams being fulfilled, your needs, your wants, and your desires, never being homeless, never suffering for lack of anything. It's the fruit that's on the top. And I can't see why you can't see it. But that is the purpose for which I've been speaking and committing myself to for the past 40 years. And it is great, because I know if you ever walk into it, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to think you're in heaven. But it won't be because of a miracle that just happened. It will be because you made a decision. You made the choice, and you turned around and you acted on that choice. And what you see will be the heaven that you, the people of God, or should I say, you, the human race, created. Thank you.